Manchester United might be, how good Ten Hag's side can be. That for them must be a blueprint. That for them must be a bar set. Ten Hag with every reason for satisfaction. If Manchester United can find this form repeatedly, then they will surely quickly become relevant at the very serious end of the Premier League. 2-0 winners tonight.
Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Sam here, live, United People's TV for the second time in the last 12 hours. Anybody who joined in last night's Christmas drinks, I enjoyed that. I'm sure you did too. We gave away a Garnacho poster. Ian, he gave away £100 to charity. And here I am with the last live stream before Christmas. 23rd today. Obviously, I'm not doing it on Christmas Eve. We're having a day off and then it's Christmas, then Boxing Day. We'll be back. We've got the Nottingham Forest game to preview. We're going to run through that and we're going to run through the training photos from yesterday. We'll have a little conversation about who we think is going to start, who won't start. A headline from the show is all about Cody Gakpo and around the deal that could happen in January. It's coming from Rik Elfrink. Now, Rik, if you don't know who Rik is, anybody who's got really good memory will remember that I spoke to Rik during the summer about Ibrahim Sangare from PSV. And I'm going to be speaking to Rik in an interview after this stream. So there's going to be more info coming out after this, but I'm going to run through the news that came out yesterday and I'll run through that. We'll speak about it in the comments, the nuances of it. We'll speak about an important announcement that James Ducker's made in terms of an appointment to Manchester United's board that's happened today, because I find that quite interesting. And as always, I'm going to answer as many of your comments and questions as I possibly can. Who's down? Let's have a look. Good morning to you, Carl, all the way from Australia. We've got Stephen watching from South Africa. We've got Paul there, down there. We've got Benjamin, Mr. Cooper, Scott, we've got Ashley, we've got Angoko. How you doing? Gamer Beans, Fizz, Julius, Charlie, Maddie, I can see you there. How you doing? Linton, yes, you did miss it last night. It was good fun. Paula, good morning to you. And I only had 3 beers. I know I'm a lightweight. I'm not that bad. my head is feeling absolutely fine. It probably won't after tonight, though, because I'm going to have more than 3 beers, I reckon. But let's talk about the headline from the show. Before I do, I forgot to mention this once yesterday on that stream. But, of course, we've got the Christmas raffle. Now, I'm going to drop the link to the Christmas raffle down here because, look, there's 1 day left to buy a ticket. All money raised will be going to charity. It will be going to the Children's Book Project in London. So 100% of proceeds raised from the raffle will be going to charity. Right now, there's been just over 60 tickets sold. So we've raised just over £300 the community. And the winner takes the big Christmas giveaway here on United People's TV is just £200 cash. And that's going to go to one person from whoever wins that raffle. And all them, as I said, 100% of proceeds raised from ticket sales are going to the charity. And I'm giving 200 people, £200, 200 people, £200. That's expensive. £200 to one person, the lucky raffle winner. Good morning to you, Ian. Happy Friday and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas indeed to you, my friend. And it was wicked last night. Hey, Dom, how you doing now? Dom's starting it strong this morning with 10 gifted. I need to find out new things to say because I've run out of superlatives to describe the generosity of the community. And we spoke about it in quite a lot of detail yesterday. If you did manage to join in, but 10 people. Gary, you've got one. Andrew, wicked cold one. That's it. I had 3 of those last night. Estevo, how you doing, man? You got one. Bimo, Glenn Bignall, Paul Humphreys, Chandra, Richard Daly, and Oguk. All of you, you've been gifted a membership. But do remember, everyone, that is only a gift for 1 month. It will expire. So if you do want to become a member after that, make sure you do. But let's talk about the headline from the show today, and that's about Cody Gakpo. Now, Cody Gakpo, I don't need to tell you about the World Cup he had. You watched it. I don't really need to tell you about the season he's having at PSV. You've been following it. But Man United, we were after Cody Gakpo in the summer. We then spent all our money on Anthony instead. Now, that is something that happened because, well, financially, we couldn't afford both of them. Leeds, they tried to sign Cody Gakpo. They didn't have enough money. Well, Gakpo didn't want to move either. And now, all of a sudden, we get to January, where the conversations are really going to be around Cody Gakpo and what comes next. Now, let's run through the story here this morning from Rik. He's saying this is what he's reporting, and I'm going to run through the full story. PSV want at least £50 million euros for Cody Gakpo. The deal is not so much about the total fee, but the way in which it's paid and what is added. If Man United or Real Madrid want him, they need to be quick. Man, down there, I think, mate, Alex, mate. Alex, you just gifted 5 memberships as well, man. It was a privilege to be able to speak to you yesterday. Daz, Sinead, I like the name Sinead. Stuckjes, Neo, and the Persian Sufi. You are the lucky 5 there. But yeah, man, it was a pleasure to speak to Andy, to Alex. Who else did we speak to? I've got the names written down here. Christmas show. Spoke to Asan, Sigmund, Rob, Ashley, Mike, and everybody. Ian and 2. Don't forget about Ian. But look, man, it was great to speak to all of you yesterday, and thank you very much for just a continued generosity. But with this Cody Gakpo situation, effectively, so if you don't know who Rik Elfrink is, he is the chief writer at Eindhoven's Dagblad, which is the biggest daily newspaper out in Eindhoven. He is the chief guy. He's your, I wouldn't go as far as saying this, but he's your Fabrizio Romano when it comes to news about PSV and PSV Eindhoven. He's the main guy. So I'm going to be interviewing Rik as soon as this live stream finishes. I spoke to Rik in the summer, so I'd already had a little bit of a relationship with him. I've been speaking to him. I've been sliding into his DMs kind of throughout the last few months. I've been waiting for the story to really develop. This feels like a good time to speak to him, because effectively what he's saying is this: PSV, they want to avoid being paid in installments, and this could be an issue for Manchester United for sure, because if we go back to the story there, 50 mil for Gakpo, he was only 43 million in the summer, and that's what they rejected. He's only going to add 7 million on. That's not much. And it's not much, but it's about the upfront structure of it. And this is where I think it might be a bit of an issue for Manchester United, because look, we know full well that Manchester United are paying for players in installments. So this is for Kieran Maguire, who of course we've interviewed here on United People's TV too. Man United bought players for 218 million in the 3 months from the 1st of July. But the Glazers, we know what they did. They used the credit card. And look, the total amounts owing in outstanding transfer installments to other clubs, Manchester United owe over 300 million to other clubs in transfer payments that we haven't completed yet. And that's a Premier League record. There is no club that owes more money than Manchester United. So that's how Manchester United have been doing our transfers. The last few years, at the very least, we've been paying for a player, but then we've been spreading the cost of that player over the 4 or 5 years. What Rik is saying here is that PSV don't want to do that. PSV, and the reason they don't want to do that is inflation. Because if PSV were to sell Cody Gakpo for 50 million euros in January, and they were to spread that 50 million euros over the course of 4 or 5 years, it would mean that by the time that 50 million euros is paid, 50 million euros wouldn't be worth 50 million euros anymore because of inflation. Cost of living and everything has got more expensive over the last few years. So what it was worth 4 years ago, it's not what it's worth now. It's effectively, that's my interpretation of it. That's why I want to speak to Rik Elfrink and sort of see what he says about the deal. And I think it'll be an interesting interview that you'll want to watch. But it seems like PSV want to avoid that and get cash up front in January, and that they'd be willing to let Cody Gakpo go for maybe a smaller, instead of going for 60 million euros, he goes for 50 million, but they get more of that up front. It's worth more to them as a football club. Now, I want to speak to Rik about the financial situation of PSV. Are they desperate for cash? Is this something that United can take advantage of? A lot of things. But I found this one quite curious. And as I said, 50 million on paper was cheap, given that it was 43 million in the summer and the season he's had at PSV and what he's done with the Netherlands at the World Cup. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to see what you're saying down here in the comments. If the club already know who the sale is going to be, maybe the money will somehow be ready for Gakpo. Jason, I've spoken about this with Kieran Maguire in terms of the cash available. I've done a separate video on this. Manchester United have got an overdraft facility of another £100 million. It's right there. They haven't used it. The club's got overall £300 million worth of overdraft, and we've only taken out 200. So if we wanted to, the other 100 is right there, just on tap. But it all depends as well on how we're losing right now as a football club, £2.5 million per week. We've only got £24 million in the bank. You can do the maths. That's not much there at all. That's what, 10 weeks worth of operating costs, that 24 million. And you can't operate a business of United's scale and size without having cash in the bank. So maybe we're just going to draw out that 100 million and put it in there to give us protection, because we're in a dangerous financial position. We really, really are. Alex, you're saying, does that mean that we'll need to sell in order to get more funds in? I mean, you could look at it like that, yeah. Wan-Bissaka, which we'll speak about later in the show, we're not exactly going to get money from Wan-Bissaka, are we? We're going to get wages off the bill. We're not going to. We might get a minuscule loan fee for Wan-Bissaka, but there's not really. You can. Everybody can let me know in the comments, right? Whether or not. Oh no, not whether or not, but what players do you think, realistically, genuinely, that we could sell in January, that we get actual money for, that we could use for transfers? Maybe Donny van de Beek. That could be a player that could happen if we could find a permanent deal, but it's hard. It's hard to do it in January. I've already done a video on that as well, Ango, in terms of whether FFP will stop us. We've lost to over 230 million over the last few years. So in terms of balancing the books, we've got a tough job on. We do. Because you're not, what is it? You're not allowed to have more than 60 million euros worth of losses over a 3-year period. And Manchester United now, over the last 3 years, have lost in excess of 200 million. So I don't know how we balance that out. I really, really don't. Rory is saying, look, do a part exchange for Donny. 35 plus him might work, though PSV won't want him. I think PSV would absolutely want him. Why wouldn't they? But Donny's reputation inside the Eredivisie, I imagine, is a very different reputation as to what is over here. I mean, he's obviously need to work on that, but geez. Bully, you think 25 mil for Donny? Or, I mean, good luck. 20 mil for Donny. I mean, good luck all round. Phil Jones. We can't get real cash money for Phil Jones. We get chocolate coins. Eaten chocolate coins. It would just be the gold wrappers. Gary saying, do we need him or can we make it until the summer? Of course we need him. We absolutely need another attacker inside this system. We know that full well. Then there's also, I want to speak to Rik as well, because I think there's a possibility the PSV may well ask that. Agree a deal now, but Gakpo stays there for the rest of the season and they try and win their first title in a while. Can't rule that out. So that's why I want to speak to Rik Elfrink to find out the real details about it. Super chat there. Don't want to miss that. I apologize, by the way. I think I missed a couple of super chats yesterday on the stream, but that was when I was having conversations with Andy and with Alex. And so I apologize if anybody sent one in. It's not my normal style. I normally don't miss them. DJG, do you think the Glazers could do an obligation to buy with loans and pass the cost on to new owners? Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely think they could do that. If you look at Manchester United's total debt at the moment, it's in excess of £1 billion. We owe 500, somewhere between 500 and 600 million in terms of actual debt, like loans. That's one part of it. We owe 300 million right there. We owe 300 million to other clubs in terms of players that we haven't fully paid for. And we have a 200 million overdraft. That's over £1 billion worth of money that's not ours, that we owe in different ways, whether it's loans, whether it's to other clubs, whether it's to the bank in an overdraft. Our debt is insane. Jonathan, you're saying Henderson, Donny van de Beek, and Wan-Bissaka, but in the summer. McTominay. Game of being thrown McTominay into that. I mean, I wouldn't have that conversation. I don't think so anyway. Alan, you're saying you could sell Donny, Maguire, Martial. I mean, we're not going to sell Martial. We've got no strikers. We've got no attackers. I think the last thing we're going to be doing now is getting rid of him. Andy's saying, last night really set me up for Christmas. So thanks again, Sam. Cheers, dude. It was great to chat to you. You're saying we should use Donny as a make weight. Thuram or Moukoko looking more realistic. The Moukoko one's a really interesting one. Of course, he's out of contract. I think that means that other clubs can agree a deal with him in January. Might be wrong on that. Thuram would be a cut price one compared to others. Daryl saying, why are we stressing where the money will come from? We always come up with money. I mean, I wouldn't say it's stressing where the money will come from. It's kind of people asking whether or not we're actually going to have the money. And as I said, if we're going to have that money, it's going to be on that overdraft. That's the only place we're going to get it because we have no cash in the bank. JVD saying, morning, they need to sell Gakpo because otherwise PSV will financially get in trouble. And again, that's one of the most important questions that I want to be asking Rik when I speak to him in the interview. What is the financial situation of PSV? Is it a case of Manchester United being able to take advantage of that? Do they have to sell? Are they under pressure? That's what I want to speak to him there. Luke, you're saying, Sam, will you do live streams over the Christmas period? It's frustrating not being able to gift memberships via mobile. I don't know why they do that. I imagine at some point YouTube might change that. But yeah, I think the only time you can gift memberships is on a computer at the moment. Weird. I don't know. Especially given how much people actually watch stuff on mobile. I won't be doing a live stream on Christmas Eve. Let me look at it. A Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or Boxing Day. Is that what it is down there? Yeah. But I might be back on the 27th of the morning of the Nottingham Forest game. But I'm still going to be having content out. There's going to be a video going out today, a video going out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I might do a little Christmas video as well. I haven't thought about that one yet. And then I'm going to have the Forest 11 going out on Boxing Day at 9 a.m. So there'll still be content. There might just not be live streams for a few days. I'm sure you let me off. My nose is itchy. I like the idea of Vlahovic on loan with an obligation to buy. Can't really see that happening. The numbers involved in that would be absolutely ridiculous. Josh, you're saying, look, we always come up with money until we don't. United are in such a shit position financially. It can't really be stressed enough that. It really can't be stressed enough how bad Manchester United's finances are right now. I don't remember them being as bad as they are. We're losing £2.5 million a week. We've only got £24 million in the bank. From an operating perspective, that's only like a few weeks worth of operating costs. Like we are not in a bad place. Bad place? We are not in a good place. We are in a bad place. And yeah, I'm worried about what comes next. I really, really am. But in terms of Cody Gakpo, effectively, the main headline is this. If Man United want to sign Gakpo, we're going to have to pay up front. It won't be a case of being able to sign him for 50 million euros and pay 10 million up front. It'll be a case of paying a big, big part of that. Stop sniffing so loud. Can I sniff over there? Is that right? There you go. Sorry about that. Abby watching from India for the first time live, and Rohil, nice to see you joining as a member. So I'm not. That's it. I'm done now. I don't need to blow my nose anymore. It's all done. Well, I hope so anyway. Until I need to sniff in about 2 minutes time. But I'm looking forward to this interview. I think this is a really important. If we're looking at players that we're linked, well, Cody Gakpo, we've been linked with more than anybody really. And if you look at, we've had debates, and we will continue to have debates about whether or not Cody Gakpo is the right player, because he's somebody who plays out naturally at PSV. He's played on the left wing, but for the Netherlands at the World Cup, he played centrally and he played on the right-hand side. If Erik Ten Hag wants him, then I want him. It's pretty much as simple as that. Like, all debates aside, if Ten Hag thinks that that Gakpo is the right player, then I'm all for it, because Ten Hag's earned that that belief in having successful signings in Martinez, in Eriksen, in Anthony, in Malacia. So that's what I think. So anyway, maybe that's naive of me. Yeah, sure. But his track record he's earned a little bit of that respect. I think so anyway. What are we saying down here? Everyone's throwing out congratulations. Why is everyone throwing out congratulations? Welcome on board to Rohil. Indeed, same morning from everybody. Look at that. What a community. Welcome everybody in. Make sure anybody who does join, make sure that you go to the community tab on YouTube and join the Telegram community. There are so many members that don't come in to that community. The Telegram channel, the main general chat, and also in the members only group, they're fantastic. Come and join in there. Seriously, I can't say it enough. But yeah, I'll say this one more time. There's only one day left on it. And as I said, 100% of proceeds are going to charity. So if you'd like to be in with a chance of winning £200 cash, which I'm going to be drawing on Christmas Day, Christmas morning, you might get a little message from me saying you won 100 quid. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Ra, you're saying, look, 4 strong signings from Ten Hag's the best bit, mate. We are lucky we got Ten Hag. We are so lucky. It could well have been Poch. Could well have been Pochettino. And I reckon I don't think much would have changed at this club. I think Pochettino would have sort of gone along with what was there. And Ten Hag's come and said, well, that's shit. That's shit. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Change that. Sack him. Put this there. Ten Hag's had the authority and the clarity of direction to come in and basically uproot Manchester United from the inside out. I'm not sure whether Poch would have done that. And I can't fairly say that would have been the case, but it's just that's my own interpretation of the character of Poch. I don't think he would have come in and been so dismissive of United's operations behind the scenes as Ten Hag has been, and have the clarity of saying, no, this doesn't work. This is what you need. Mate, we're lucky we got Ten Hag. That's why I was so excited. I was excited about Rangnick, and I stand by the fact that I was excited about Rangnick. The fact that the club turned their back on him doesn't change that. No, he wasn't a good manager. He was never supposed to be a good manager. He was supposed to be a man that sort of helped steer the overall vision at our football club, because I knew full well that the focus shouldn't be on the pitch. That wasn't going to change United. And then, obviously, we went Ten Hag, and that was the absolute... I forgot about that. Ten Hag switched the dugouts around. Was it so that the home team was closer to the dugout? I think that's what it was. What a don. What an absolute don. Alex, yeah, saying, judging on the interview with Ten Hag, mentality is a very important in signing someone that can handle the pressure at United. And therefore, I only want Gakpo in January. I wouldn't say that... Well, if anybody did watch that, it was a big... I think it was JVD from the community on Telegram helped me with the translation for that interview. And it was... Yeah, as I said, I love doing those sorts of things, especially for interviews that don't come across to the British press. Ten Hag was really, really open in that interview. And he spoke about mentality a lot. He spoke about personalities a lot. He spoke about the process of players coming through academy teams into the first team. It was a really insightful interview. I think so anyway. Is Ten Hag another Ancelotti or Mourinho in the making? No, man. Erik Ten Hag is the first Erik Ten Hag. He will set and leave his own legacy behind that others try to mimic and follow. And I keep saying about any player, like Jude Bellingham is not the next Paul Pogba. Jude Bellingham is the first Jude Bellingham. I find, in the same way that I've been having a go at Jamie Carragher for his lazy punditry. I think that's lazy. It's lazy to say anybody is the next version of X. Just let a person do their own path, and they don't necessarily have to be compared to anyone before them. Just let them do their own thing. And look, it's just he is our manager, and I'm just excited. I'm fucking excited about what's coming next. I really am. At least not for the fact that the club, it looks like we're being sold. It doesn't look like we're being sold. We are being sold. I've got a little bit of not a major update on that, but it's an interesting talking point. I think so anyway. Let's see what you're saying in the comments. Thomas, you're saying, I want Gakpo in January. The lad had a brilliant World Cup and will do well in the Prem. Ten Hag, bring him to Old Trafford, please. I mean, he did have it was a really, really impressive World Cup from Gakpo. And yeah, as I said, if Ten Hag wants him, then I want him. I've got the belief in my manager that he's making the right calls and the right signings for the right reasons. Because we've missed, and that's something that Ten Hag said in that interview that I covered. He's like, United have missed so many times with transfers. Like, we can't afford to do it anymore. We've got to start hitting. We've got to start getting bullseye. Martinez, Anthony, Casemiro, Malacia, Ericsson, mate, they're all in the middle. They're not all bullseyes, but they are all on target. Dubravka, well, let's find out what's going on there. But I hope that Gakpo can follow in that trend. And it's not just a case of going and signing players from the Eredivisie or from former Ajax players, and that's just everyone we're going to sign. But at the same time, it's fucking worked, doesn't it? It has worked. And if it works, who gives a toss where they're from, what nationality they are? It doesn't matter. If it works, it works. Alex, are you talking about how Rashford can play on that? Yep. There is versatility. There's definite versatility there to Gakpo if he comes in. JVD, that's nice of you, dude. JVD's down there gifting 5 memberships. Chris, you've been given 1. Deaf Eagle, Andil, Connor, and John Hyde. Congratulations to you 5. Make sure you say thanks to JVD. What a lovely little Christmas present from him there. And Paul finally managed to get to the stream live. Welcome aboard, sir. Nice to see you there. But back to what I was saying there about the Glazer selling. I've covered every single angle of it, and I will continue to do that because it's the single most important thing that can happen, that has happened to our club in a long time, and that will happen when they sell us. I've got a video going out tomorrow, which I'm going to prepare today, based off a fantastic thread from Swiss Ramble, which really helps us understand what the true valuation of United really is. Because it's just been a guessing game from everyone. 8 billion, yeah, 9, yeah. How much? 9, yeah, no, it's only worth 4. He's done some actual financial research into using different models for valuations. And that's what I'm going to cover in a video tomorrow. But today, this is an interesting little point here from James Ducker, saying Manchester United's chief legal officer and general counsel, Patrick Stewart, not that Patrick Stewart, although I kind of hope it is, has been appointed to the club's PLC board of directors. And it comes at a time when the Glazers are looking to sell. Now, this is an interesting one. A little bit of research here. Patrick Stewart. Let's have a look at where his experience lies. He's a senior sports lawyer and executive with over 2 decades working at the top end of the sports industry. His experience includes development and execution of sports rights exploitation programs, negotiation of innovative and record-breaking sports marketing deals, the resolution of high-profile commercial and regulatory disputes, and implementation of corporate blah, 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 blah. He is very interesting that Manchester United decided to appoint him to the board at this moment in time. Now, I don't know whether this is completely correct or not. I would have to do some more research into this. But Toe in the Water, who I've been using as a bit of a source when it comes to proper insight into finances at Manchester United, is suggesting that it's a tactical appointment to make sure that Manchester United and the board don't have to disclose too much. But just in itself, the fact that Manchester United here have appointed the chief legal officer to the board, I can't see that as a bad thing. Of course, we're waiting for the bids to go in, right? We're waiting for all of that to happen. We're waiting until these protests to take over. And I tell you what, on the 27th of December, if you can, the 1958 have announced the latest protest. The start point's not confirmed yet. They're going to confirm that this evening. I'll speak to them. I'll try and find out as well. I'm going to presume it's at the Tollgate, which is the pub near Old Trafford, about a 10-15 minute walk. You go down St Matt Busby Way. That's where the protest started for the Liverpool game. That was huge. And I imagine this protest here. I don't think it will be as big as Liverpool because of the timing. It's the 27th of December. It's just in the Christmas time. I don't think it will be as big as Liverpool, but it will be big because this is the first protest that is happening at Old Trafford at a game since the Glazers have said that they are putting the club up for sale. So the momentum is huge behind it. In the same way that there was big momentum for that Liverpool protest, it was such a privilege to be part of that. That really is a cracking photo. Let me pull that one up. That really is such a cracking photo. was over 10,000 Reds there marching to Old Trafford in protest against the owners. St Matt Busby Way, you couldn't move. Don't know what road that is. That no, I think that is St Matt Busby Way. That's a pub there on the corner. I think it is. Mate, you could not move down that road. There were so many people in that protest. It was fantastic. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing another one. Mate, Rohill, look at that. Rohill's just joined as a member and then gifted him 5. Mate, that is exactly what this community is all about. Somebody who's coming in, been welcomed in, and now he's welcoming others in. Come on. What done? What done? Thank you very much, dude. Someone, Niall, George, Jonesy, and Aletta. Mate, you're now involved. Jeez. At some point, we won't be able to. We won't be able to gift any more memberships because everyone's going to be a member. It's absolute done. I said it yesterday, by the way. If you joined in the live stream, the Christmas live stream, did a quiz. It was I'm going to be doing them more often. See if we can do those once a month, maybe behind closed doors in the Telegram community. Because I enjoy doing that. Declan saying, Sam, when did the Glazers say they were putting the club up for sale? Let's find out exactly when that date was. I think it was a roughly 4 weeks ago. What is it? Man United strategic. There you go. It was, oh, geez. It was just under a month ago, the 22nd of November. So that's when Manchester United, the statement came out from the Glazers. Let's find out what's going on there. I'm going to read a few of your comments out down here. Van Nistelrooy is still a new manager and Van Gaal's coaching and tactics are questionable, yet Gakpo excels. Imagine what Gakpo could be under Ten Hag. If Ten Hag wants Gakpo, I've told you this a million times there, then I trust him. But yeah, he must see something in him. And I'll be honest, like at the World Cup, I think we all saw. I think that's probably the reason. It was probably that was probably the time when I started getting excited about the idea of signing Gakpo. It was at the World Cup because he's had a cracking season at PSV, but it is the Eredivisie and it is an environment that he's comfortable in. I suppose. I mean, he's still excelling. His goal and assist return in this season at PSV was outstanding. But he went to the World Cup and he led the line for the Netherlands. And he scored a header in his first game. He scored with his left foot in the second game. He scored with his right foot in the third game. 3 very different goals, all from different attacking positions. Showed real versatility, real quality. Took the pressure of leading the line for the Netherlands. And it was impressive. I think Gakpo really grew and matured and showed that he can play at the highest level at the World Cup. And it was after that point when I was like, okay, right. I think he could do it at United. And if Erik Ten Hag wants him, then I want him. Absolutely. Moving on to a really important talking point down here. Actually, I'll read a few of your comments out and then we'll move on. Rohu, you're talking about Gakpo's versatility there being important. And Chris, you're doing the same thing. Fred, 30 million bid. Should we sell? No one's bid. No one's coming in for Fred. Simple. I think so anyway. Paul, you're saying who else is hoping that Wan-Bissaka stays? Hey, look, man, if Wan-Bissaka turns it round, then I've got like a whole wheelbarrow of humble pie to eat. Same goes for actually, no, more so. I need to eat a whole shipping container if Harry Maguire turns it around. But I just still don't see it. I still don't see it. I'll be honest. I think we're going to see Wan-Bissaka start against Forest. I don't think that Erik Ten Hag will risk Diogo Dalot. I suppose we don't know the extent of the injury, right? He obviously left Portugal's last game at the World Cup with an injury. We don't know whether or not he's going to have a massive long-term injury or whether it was just, I don't know, whether it was just a precaution more than anything. But he missed the game against Burnley. We'll find out, I suppose, whether or not he's going to play. But judging by that performance, Wan-Bissaka, I think he'll get a chance. I do think he'll get a chance. Mate, Chris is down there as well. Chris, you dude. 10 memberships here this morning. I'm going to have to throw in 10 as well. Solid one. I've got to join the Christmas spirit. Membership gifting. It's Christmas. You're bringing out the Christmas spirit in me. I used to be Scrooge for a while. I'm slightly less Scroogey now. Not perfect, but I'm slightly less Scroogey. But there's 10 from me as well. But Chris, who are the lucky 10? Paul, you've been given one. Look at that. Lewis Hobbs, Raymond, random person. Adrian, no signature, man. Some seriously top names here. Kenny Mooney, and Lebo and Lee, you've been giving them. And then look, I've just thrown in 10 as well. Doesn't matter who I gave the 10 to, but that's 10 from me. Alex, you're asking how many members have we got? I don't know how many members we've got. I really, really don't. I need to go and look at that. I'll try and get that on a stream. I'll try and get that stat for you because it's really important. But I have no idea. And this is exactly why I need to start. I want to start doing like the members only quizzes. Start doing some members content. I need to start giving more back to you because you keep giving so much to me. It's amazing. T, you're saying, Sam, do you know anything about the offer links we received for Maguire? No, not at this moment in time. Maguire has just sort of disappeared into the darkness again. He's got an illness, according to Erik ten Hag, which I think everybody's a little bit suspect now. Whenever you see, or a player's ill, we're like, are they? Sometimes they might be ill, right? Sometimes they might just be ill. But Anthony's saying, give out the link to the Telegram. I can't give out the link on the stream because then anybody who isn't a member can join. But if you're a member on YouTube, welcome aboard. After the stream is finished, go to the main homepage, go to the YouTube channel, click the community tab. There's a link in there to the members only chat. Please join the members only community because that's where the community really exists. The live stream is brilliant. We have a chat every day, but that exists in there 24/7. Tim, you're saying Ten Hag sees Gakpo as a player he can mold. That's exactly how I would sum it up, Tim. I think Anthony, of course, he was a player that he could mold. He already molded him when he joined from was it Santos? I think he joined from. No, where did he join? Wasn't from Santos. I can't remember where he joined from. His name's Anthony Santos. That's why I always get it mixed up. Anyway, he helped him when he joined Ajax, and he molded him. Malacia was somebody he obviously saw. He appreciated him from his time at Feyenoord, and he felt that he could mold him. And I see Gakpo as that as well. 23, but he doesn't have a defined position. He's a goal scorer. He showed at the World Cup he can score left foot, right foot, and headers. And I think Ten Hag sees that and goes, you know what? There's something I can really do there. Sao Paulo, that's where he was signed from. Thank you very much, everyone in the comments. The comments never let me down. But look, speaking of never, yesterday, Man United were drawn against Charlton in the... Mate, what is this? This Man United doing this weird crypto shit. Don't know why they're doing it. Anyway, it won't end well. Man United got drawn against Charlton in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. It was, on paper, the best draw we could have got. The lowest team still existing in the competition. It will play them on the week commencing the 9th of January, I believe. Mate, Man United have got... You know how we've just had a month away from football? After, well, I mean, not really after. We've got a game on the 27th and a game on the 31st. But January is going to crank up. It is going to crank up. I think we may have 9 games in January, depending on whether or not we win this and get through, and whether or not the semi-final is 2 legs. But it's an ideal draw. Mary Earps, big up to Mary Earps for getting Man United in, getting Charlton there. But United are playing Charlton, and we're clear favourites. Ten Hag showed by that team he played against Burnley that he's not messing about in this competition. He knows full well that this is a massive opportunity for United to get that League Cup. The League Cup won't make a jot of difference to City. After they beat Liverpool yesterday, it's City. It's looking like we're playing for a City semi or a City final. And Ten Hag knows full well that this means a lot. For him to get that first trophy, and our first trophy as a football club, by the way, since 2017. 2017. That's a long old time. That is a long old drought. It really, really is. Solskjaer should have won that Europa League. That still stings. That will always sting. But Ten Hag showed that he means business with that team he put out against Burnley. And I think United played well in that game. And now we've got Charlton. We got a good draw. By the way, that's our 7th home domestic cup draw in a row. That's mad. Anybody who's waiting for an away day, and Charlton away would have been tasty. Charlton away would have been a good one. But United there, getting Charlton, it's a good draw for us. It is a good draw, everybody will have concerns about this game. All Charlton, these are the sort of games where United will go into and they'll be expecting to win X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. I think we showed against Burnley that we can go into those games and we can win those games comfortably. And that's what this has to be. And that comes down to Ten Hag as a manager and also the players themselves, right? Complacency is a poison that has really hurt United for so many years. And it all comes down to the mentality. The players haven't trained properly that week. It's only Charlton in a couple of days. So I sod that. Ten Hag will not let that happen. Just like he didn't let it happen against Burnley with the players that he put out. Expect a full team, a full strength team here. But yeah, and I hope that this is a past tense thing. That these are the sorts of games that United just used to slip up on. The banana skins that just kind of derailed the progress. That has to change. It changed against Burnley. Let's find out here if it changes there. Glenn, you're saying City in the final to get revenge for the 6-3. Well, City have got Southampton in the quarters. Obviously, if United go through, we've got what? 1 in 3 chance of getting City. We might have City as I think it's a 2-leg semi. Giggity. And if we do, well, that'll be a tasty too. And if we get them in a final, imagine City in a final for Ten Hag's first trophy. That'll be a cracking game. That would be a cracking game. A quick nod, a quick look ahead towards what's coming next. And that is Nottingham Forest. Let's take a look at some training photos because it was a moody and miserable day there. Martial with Eriksen. Yeah, of course Madison is smiling. That dude's always smiling. And look who that is, by the way. Let's zoom in. Kobbie Mainoo. Training with the first team squad. There's who we got here. Got McTominay, Pellistri, Mainoo, Martial hiding in the background. Zidane, Iqbal. Is that Reece Bennett? I think it is. I think that's Garnacho's eyes. That'll be a tough question. There's Eriksen over there. But Kobbie Mainoo training with the first team. That's exciting. That really is exciting. And if you've watched that video where I ran through that full Ten Hag interview, in that interview, Ten Hag was explaining that there was a huge disconnect in Manchester United's academy system. He said the second team was so far removed that it was effectively, he didn't even know it was a second team at Manchester United. He goes, I've changed that. He's now taking some elements of control. He goes, if he wants to see Kobbie Mainoo playing, hypothetically, as an attacking midfielder, he'll be telling the, I think, Travis Binion? I can never remember. Is it Travis Binion? I think it's Travis Binion. Yes, Travis Binion is our under-21s coach. He'll be telling him, saying, look, play Kobbie Mainoo in this position. I want to see what his progress is like. Ten Hag's taken a bit of control and trying to match that gap between the first team and the academy so that when players come through, they already know what sort of football they need to play. It won't be, they won't have to learn this Ten Hag system because they've learned some of the fundamentals at a younger age. That's what makes the Ajax Academy so fluid. And that's what allows players from the Ajax Academy to come straight into the first team and look like they've been playing there the whole time because the style of football is the exact same. And Ten Hag is really trying to take control of that because he said there was a huge disconnect. And he said it was the same thing that existed at Ajax before he got there as well. Mate, he's a dude. He is a dude. He's our manager as well. Oh, Gavin, thank you very much, dude. What are you saying? Sam, just want to say Merry Christmas to you. I hope next year brings us lots of new players and sees the Glazers walk away. I can't wait for the day that happens. You're a legend. Keep up the work, mate. Thank you very much, Gavin. Happy Christmas to you and your family as well. I'll tell you what, the party that we are going to have here when the Glazers leave, you know full well how big that party is going to be and how big that party is going to be on the bus. Getting a bus in Manchester, I probably won't be able to, but it's a nice idea. Getting a bus and getting Barry on the bus. Rafi, thank you very much. Yeah, that was a good, that was big up to JVD for helping with that and helping make it happen. And you're been saying it all along. The Academy League is garbage. Mate, the Academy, the gap in England between Academy football and Premier League football, it's like going from English to trying to learn Mandarin. Like, it's impossible. The gap is so huge that if it's almost like a foreign league. That's why loans are so important. You're seeing Amad Diallo right now. He's shining out on loan at Sunderland. You've seen it previously with James Garner. That didn't lead to a first-team position at United, but it certainly made him a far better player. And there are other examples. Ethan Laird doing really well at QPR. If you get a good loan spell, it can make such a big difference. But United have got that disconnect. And I'm really looking for, I told you it was a perfect time for us to win the FA Youth Cup. For players like Kobbie Mainoo coming through now, it's going to be amazing to see how he can develop next season. And I think Ten Hag is the perfect man to make that happen. I think everyone's down here talking about Warren G. Yeah, there he is, man. Warren making us all look bad. He's not. He's just Don, man. Nice to see you there. Missed you on the stream yesterday. Rashik, William, Baba, Will, Dancing with the Devil. That's a nice one. Dave Adams, Josiah, Kirk, and Ben. You are the lucky 10 there this morning. Who came in from watching from Nigeria saying, just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Wish you a Merry Christmas too, dude. Dudley saying, I fucking love this United family. This is just the beginning, mate. It's wicked. It's amazing that so many of you have bought into it. So many of you have actually financially bought into it as well. Yeah, man. I can't wait to see what comes on next. I can't wait to see what comes next. And hopefully it'll end in February, maybe, with a nice little bit of silverware. Now, one last little point. What is this last little point I want to speak about? Yeah, I want to speak about this. I saw this yesterday, and I completely agree with it. Actually, how many people got there? We've got 275 likes on the video. We've got 1,100 people watching. Let's see how many we can get right now as like a little Christmas experiment. The last live stream before Christmas, there's 800 more than 800 of you watching right now. Hit the like button and let's see whether how many we can get at once. And of course, Carl, it is map day today. I'm going to be doing the map next. Don't worry about that. And Robert, you remembered that. I remember that as well. I was going to put Rob on the map. I already had that up. Where was Rob? I think Rob was, I know it was near Florida, but I can't remember the exact place. So I might just put Florida on the map. But no, as I said, this is such a wicked community. I've been privileged to have been able to sort of lead it over the last 12 months. Well, it's not New Year's, so don't really have to have the sort of 2022 roundup. But man, I love it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming next. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes is somebody who I feel like I've had to defend too much. I've never really understood the need to defend him. But what a player. What a player. And I think he is going to be probably the most important player. Andy Mitten with an interview down here saying, look, Bruno Fernandes is one of, if not Manchester United's best player. And I've got to agree with that. I think if I was giving you a fantasy tip, I would probably say Bruno. Get Bruno in your team. I think he's going to be fantastic in the second half of this season. I think he will be. What an amazing community. Dancing with the Devil, you're down there saying thank you very much. But look, it's Friday. It's map day. I think it was near Tampa Bay as well, Rob. So I'm going to put Tampa Bay on the map here. This is for Rob, who of course joined in on the live stream yesterday. Tampa Bay. Well, you live in Busch Gardens now, mate. Just because that comes up on the map. Let's see. So all you need to do is, you know what to do. You need to let me know where you're watching from the country and what town in that country as well. And I can try and get 3 or 4 of you added onto the map. Like Lou Hobbs, look at that. Let's add you two on here. We've got Norway, we've got Oslo in Norway. On you go, Kalechi. Welcome aboard. You're now on the map. Yep. And we've got Louis watching from Shanghai in China. Awesome. Wow. Shanghai in China. On you go, sir. And let's get a couple more on here. It's Christmas. Why not? Let's get the Christmas spirit going. I've got Rashik watching from Atlanta, Georgia. Awesome. On you go, sir. Atlanta, Georgia. Hell yeah. And let's get one more on. Why not? Ali watching from Toronto. Awesome. Look at that. It blows my mind. It blows my mind how worldwide this community is. If I was to take a look here on the right-hand side, you might not be able to see it, but over here is a list of the pins on the map. The last 10, we've got Toronto, Canada, Atlanta, Georgia, Shanghai in China, Oslo in Norway, Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay, Marina Bay in Singapore, Nicosia in Cyprus, Queens in New York, Shenzhen in China, Ottawa in Canada, New South Wales, Netherlands, Ireland, Ghana, Nigeria, Botswana, Eritrea, Slovenia, Singapore, UAE, UK, Colombia. Mate, it's the best thing about it. Properly global. It's awesome. But look, I'm going to wrap that up for today. I'm going to wrap that up before Christmas, I suppose. This is the final live stream before Christmas. Christmas is on Sunday. I hope all of you, all around the world, have a wonderful day with your families, with your friends, however you want to do it. I'll be here later on today with an interview with Rik Elfrink from Eindhoven with more insight into the Cody Gakpo situation. I'll be here on Christmas Day, I think. Maybe not. I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to do a video on Christmas Day. I might not, but if I do, it'll be on there somewhere. Boxing Day, I'll have the Forest starting 11 going out at 9 in the morning. And then on the 27th, football's back. So enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful little Christmas. And yeah, thanks for making this community what it is. I'm looking forward to what's coming in 2023. New owners, Ten Hag getting the signings he wants. United actually winning some silverware. Shit. It's going to be good. Thank you, everybody, for making it what it is. And I'll speak to you soon. And the Christmas, it would be rude to not go to our mascot one last time before Christmas.
We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway.